Hi. Now we'll add materials to our setup. Let's open the TyFlow editor. First, we need to add a material ID operator. For the first event, we'll keep the static value as 1. Now open the slate material editor and add a multi-sub-object material from the general materials list. Change the number of material slots to 3. Next, let's add a Vray material. We can't see the Vray material right now. To fix that, go to Rendering, Render Setup, and under Renderer, choose Vray 7. Done! Now we can see Vray in the Materials menu. Add a Vray material, then apply a diffuse map for the hand. From the Vray material, choose Bitmap, select the hand anatomy texture. Here, the hand albedo is the diffuse map. Let's select it. Okay, now assign the material to the TyFlow object. Now we can see the material applied to the hand. Since we set the material ID static value to 1, we need to place this material in slot 1. Next, let's add a bump map using Vray bitmap. Here, hand normal is the bump map. Select it and click Open. Now add the roughness map using the same process. For now, we'll use only these 3 maps. Too many maps can slow down render speed, so avoid unnecessary ones. Go back to TyFlow and add another material ID operator to the time test event. Set its static value to 2. Open the material editor again, minimize the previous material, and create another Vray material for slot 2. Change the diffuse color to blue. Okay, now go back to TyFlow and add another material ID operator for the final event. Change its static value to 3. Since we'll use a gradient ramp on this one, we need to create custom float data. For that, first add a mapping operator and set its timing to continuous. Then add a custom properties operator, also set it to continuous. Set custom float data to scale magnitude. Create a channel named float. Now, in the mapping operator, change mapping mode to mapping from custom float, and in mapping values, select the created channel. Next, go to the material editor again, minimize the previous one, and create a new material for slot 3. Click on the diffuse box and choose Gradient Ramp. Here it is. Make any color variation you like. In my case, I'm struggling to adjust the variation because the value range is too small. We can fix that easily by enabling normalize values. Set the max value to 1. Still too small. Let's make the maximum value 0.1. Okay, now we'll create a gradient ramp with various colors. It's looking good now. Let's create a dome light and render using Vray viewport IPR. We can't see the hand yet because we haven't added a mesh operator. To see TyFlow in the render, we must add it. Add a mesh operator to the first event. Now we can see part of the hand. Add the same operator to the second event. Now we see that part too. Finally, add it to the last event. Now we can see the full effect. I hope you're all practicing along with these tutorials. Okay, let's add the environment first. Select Vray Dome Light, then go to the Modify panel. Let me hide the Houdini Engine plugin. Okay, click on No Map to add the environment map. Minimize OSL in general, go to Vray, then choose Vray bitmap. Select the environment map. I will provide this map in course file. Now open the material editor and drag the environment map as an instance copy. Let's fix the horizontal rotation. Try 90, 45. What about 180? We can drag it up. Let's try 280. Okay, fix it at 285. Let's set the composition. Composition isn't just about placing objects. It communicates emotion. I will change the rendering aspect ratio to 2.35 to 1. This gives us a wider cinematic frame, which helps enhance the mood and strengthens our composition. Press Shift plus F to see the exact frame size. Here, the hand is moving slowly toward the seed. So the motion feels gentle, almost curious, but the seed itself is beating, glowing, and powerful enough to disintegrate the hand. So visually, the seed must feel dominant. To show that power, we can place the seed on one of the golden points. If we position it on the upper right golden point, it gets enough visual space around it to feel important and strong. Now just click on the Vray Physical Camera button. It will automatically create a camera from the exact view. It looks too dark now because of the exposure, but I want to increase the light instead. Let's change the dome light multiplier to 50. Maybe we have to increase the field of view. Field of view is simply how much of the scene the camera can see. A wider FOV shows more of the environment. A narrower FOV focuses the viewer's attention on a smaller area. We can increase it to 52. Let's check our composition. By the way, I'm using the Image Comp Helper plugin. It's a great tool you can try as well. The composition looks fine, but the scene is too dark. Let's increase the environment light multiplier. Maybe 75 works well. You can see the hand is still dark, so we need to add some extra lights to brighten it. For that, create a Vray light. Okay, let me change the viewport first. Change the dome light to a plain light. Adjust the size and place the light in front of the hand. It's currently in front of the camera, which is why it's making the scene dark. Make the light invisible to the camera. Make the size smaller and set the multiplier to 20. Change the color to match the environment and increase the multiplier to 30. Now copy the light and move it to the back side of the hand. We'll use it as a backlight. Backlight helps separate your subject from the background. When the light comes from behind the hand, it creates a thin rim of brightness around the edges. Increase its multiplier to 60. Maximize the viewport. Rotate the backlight a little bit. Let me check it by changing the color to white and setting the multiplier to 200. Now, change the color back and increase the multiplier to 300. Okay, now, let's create a material for the seed. Open the material editor and create a Vray material. Assign it to the seed. We can use Vray presets. From preset, choose glass tinted. Maybe glass architectural is a better preset. Not bad. Now close the material editor and minimize the camera view. Now we need to create the glowing effect. For that, create a Vray sphere light inside the seed. Move it to the center of the seed. Adjust the radius, multiplier, and color. Let's maximize the camera view to see the changes. Tweak and check the changes to the radius and multiplier values repeatedly until you're satisfied with the result. Make sure you have checked the invisible checkbox. Let's create a depth of field effect. Go to the camera settings and change the f number to 8 and shutter speed to 200. Turn depth of field on. Now you can see everything is blurry because our camera target is not in the correct position. Set the camera target to the seed. Now it looks correct. Check the composition. All right. Here you can see the seed is in focus. Now we'll add some render elements. By the way, I am rendering in 4K resolution. Image sampler, bucket, max subdivs, 8, noise threshold, 0.005. For render elements, the most important one for glow is Vray light select. Scroll down and add the sphere light we used for the glow effect. By the way, you should rename all the objects, lights, and cameras you've created. It will help you find them easily and demonstrates professionalism. I am also adding Vray reflection, Vray refraction, Vray lighting, Vray denoiser, and Vray Global Illumination. Let's save from here in JPG format. For multipass, go to the Vray frame buffer, check separate render channels, and check separate folders. Save it as an EXR file. Now you can render. You have to set the frame range for animation render. That's it for now.